Hey there, guys. Senator Warren, good to have you here.
Good to be here.
There was an exchange towards the end of that debate with former Vice President Joe Biden about the CFPB, which you were working on. He said something to the effect of, I went to the Senate and got you those votes. How do you remember his role in the CFPB?
So if that's what Vice President Biden says, I take him at his word on that. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was an idea that a lot of people said, don't even try, because you will never get it past the banks. You'll never get it past the Republicans. There'll be a lot of Democrats who will fight you on this. But I really believed after the crash, this was our chance to get an agency that would make sure that people didn't get cheated by these giant financial institutions. And particularly because the people who are often targeted were seniors, they were people of color, they were our military. And the agency has been able to continue to respond and push back. And, it's already forced these banks to return about $12 billion directly to people they cheated.
One of the sort of recurring themes tonight in exchanges you had with other people was, and I've a feeling, and I think Senator Klobuchar said this, that in talking about kind of need for structural change, not raising big money with big dollar donors, that you're fundamentally kind of impugning either the motives or the vision of the other candidates, right? That they basically want to say, look, we agree on the problems, we disagree on the solutions. It doesn't mean that I'm some sort of sellout. What do you say to that?
Well, I think it's the case that nearly everybody on that stage has said they won't take corporate PAC money, which tells me that everybody on that stage knows that it matters where your money comes from. I made the decision when I decided to run for president that I was going to run a different kind of campaign.
Wait a second, though. As senator, you didn't make that decision, and you raised a lot of money, and you had a lot of cash on hand, which people point out, that helped you as you moved over into the presidential. And people say, look, you were fine to go take those big dollar donations then, and then have the cash on hand, and then discover this new position while running for president.
Actually, it's a little different than that. I raised $20 million in small dollar donations when I was up for re-election in 2018. Yep. I gave away or directly raised $11 million for Democrats all around this country because I really want to support the team. I want to see us win, not just at the top of the ticket, but up and down the ticket. And yeah, I had enough money left over that I put money into my campaign. But look, everybody knows I made the decision when I decided to run that I was going to run a different kind of campaign. I was not going to spend my time sucking up to corporate executives and to big dollar donors. Instead, I've been to 27 states and Puerto Rico, and I have done, I think it's 140 town halls now and taken tens of thousands of selfies. Because that's what you can do if you're spending your time building a grassroots movement.
The argument on the other side, and I think Vice President Biden says this, and Mayor Pete to a certain extent, is that you will be outgunned, right? And you came on my show when you made this announcement. And I asked you on that program, are you going to do this for the general? And you said something to the effect of, you just got to fight with every possible thing you can get. And so, yes, I will raise high dollar donors. I will do fundraisers. You've changed your mind on that.
So, look, the way I see this, I'm going to keep running my campaign exactly the way I've run it from the very beginning. And that is, I'm going to do it through grassroots donations all across this country. I'm also going to continue to help the party. I have helped the party in the past because I think it's powerfully important that we elect Democrats. I believe in the state parties, and I want to see the state parties rebuild, not just 5 or 10 of them. I made contributions to all 50 state parties when I was up for re-election because I wanted to help every single one of them. I think that's how we're going to build a grassroots movement. And here's the deal. Not only that it's going to be our comparative advantage come 2020, but that it's actually going to still be there come January of 2021. And we need that outside pressure to hold Congress accountable and to make real change.
So I want to go back to an exchange that you're going to get asked a lot about, and I'm sure you've already talked about. But go back to this exchange about taxes and costs, okay? I get it. I get that you do not recognize some metaphysical distinction between the part of your paycheck that comes out for the premium and the part that comes out for payroll taxes. Doesn't matter. Still coming out of the paycheck, costs are what matters. That said, anytime I watch a politician say the same thing 4 times in a row, I feel like some ball is being hidden from me. Right? Like, do you understand? Like, is the idea that you don't want to give a line for an attack ad?
No, the idea is this is where I spent a big part of my life. And it's studying, talking about, doing the research on why middle-class families go broke. And one of the principal answers is they go broke over medical costs. And back when I was studying this, 2 out of every 3 families that filed for bankruptcy in the aftermath of a serious medical problem had health insurance. What worries me are people like the woman I met out in Nevada a couple of weeks ago. She described it as she had the gold-plated premier health insurance, fabulous, right up until the treatment she needed to save her life was going to cost $125,000. You know what our insurance company said? No.
But wasn't one of the promises of the Affordable Care Act that that practice would stop?
Well, but it hasn't.
And that's
the problem. It is the work of the insurance companies to find every way they can to go around it. And that's what they have done. And so I meet family after family that thought they had full insurance coverage right up until they turned out not to be profitable for the insurance company. You know, the insurance companies last year made tens of billions of dollars in profit. And you have to stop and ask, how did they do that? And the answer was one word that they used over and over. That word was no. No to the doctor you actually want to see. No to the specialist. No to that prescription. Oh, sorry, your deductible is higher than you thought it was, so no, we're not going to cover this. The copay is too high. Families are still going broke across this country because they can't afford their health care costs.
All right.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.